What's up, everybody? Hey, Morten, how you doing?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Hey, let's see. Hey, Hexicans, this is Hex Foodies group live stream. We do this weekly on Tuesdays at noon, USA Central. Let's see. Typically, we go over the chat, or we have some sort of a presenter of the week. And this week, it's Morten. Let me bring on Finbear, but I have to give the intro.
Welcome to the Finbear.
That's Huddle Dog.
Huddle Dog's voice, and then that was Finbear introduced to me what was Santa Claus prior to America's rendition on Coca-Cola advertisement.
Yeah, that's a Finnish version of the Santa Claus.
I'm gonna remove that while I. So, Morten, what would you like for me to bring up?
Yeah, I would love. I thought it was a good idea maybe to share that video. I know you have seen it before, but it could give a good context for people to get an overview of the project, maybe.
So, which one was that? It was I'm building a retreat and want you, or
yeah, I think so.
Or was it an earlier one than that?
It was an earlier one when I sent it to you because it was unlisted. It's actually not a finished video, but I just had to publish it because when I shared it to you and some other people, they continued sharing it, and it works in a way because people are contacting me and it seems to inspire people. So I think, it works more than good enough.
So let me play a video while I try to find the video that you're talking about. Did you send it to me via Telegram?
Let me do that real quick.
Oh goodness, you guys able to hear that stuff?
No.
Y'all
No.
weren't?
What's going on?
Okay.
FBI choppers landing.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's an older one, but
It's a beautiful one. You guys able to hear me right now? Okay.
All right, so I'm leaving yellow card here to go and look at the plot.
I'm gonna find the other video while we're watching this.
Sun is going down. This is my main man, Tabo. På VP. Been planting trees all year. Different trees and cutting bushes, right? Yeah. So we're gonna look at that. Yeah, and bring you along. This is a huge difference than last year.
Yeah, this is what we plant,
Yeah.
but we still have the place to plant again, like this. This is from the government give the people
Yeah.
to plant like this.
What does he mean
But
by
when you
government
plant
plants like this?
Yeah.
The place is
the government needs to have.
not
It
problem.
can't have like bush. It has to
Build
be
the
something
butterflies.
there, something useful there.
Yeah.
So we plant something.
Oh yeah.
Tax benefits?
Yeah. I have to come back soon. It's so beautiful here.
Yeah.
It's like a very what's it called? Nurture.
Yeah.
A lot of nourishment in the ground.
Sure.
It's like very green and yeah, maybe even. Oh, look at that! What's this? What?
Butterfly.
It was wow. It's white, but it's blue inside. Yeah. Whoa, there. Ah. Wow.
Blue and white. It's yellow.
Yeah. Many butterflies. Wow.
They're living in that bush.
This is a safari. Oh shit.
You like that? Hi.
A bigger scale, the world in hand. As we go, I wouldn't want it any other way. Dreamy, breezy, we go.
I think our watermarks are overlapping down there in the corner. I was like, what is that .com going on? But you've got your thing there. Hilarious. Okay, we're halfway done with this video.
Many animals, small animals. You think there's snakes here?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. This is like the main
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Easy, easy on her tiptoes, undercover agents of the
Oh my god.
So many times, but
What's that? Little rat? What? Bush baby.
yeah, not bush baby. That is kind of like bush baby, but different.
Oh my god. Only on Zanzibar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's only on Zanzibar.
All the Zanzibar.
In the whole world. This is the baobab tree. That tree though. Yeah. Majestic. Majestic. Wow. And the caves are here, no?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Caves.
There we go. It's long way down, right? Will make it so nice here. Maybe a cave pool. What do you think?
Yeah.
Huh?
Careful.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Yeah?
If you dig more, little more,
Yeah.
you get water.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can't believe this. Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's just good to be here. Get the feel. Wow. So what are the different fruits? It's lime,
Lime is over there.
and there's mangoes,
Mango is over there.
papayas.
Lime tree.
This is lime.
Yeah. And orange.
Orange,
Mandarin over there.
mandarins,
Guava. Peach. Lime. Lemon.
lemon. This is the beginning of something huge.
Okay, sorry that took so long. But I thought that was a great video. Of course, you know, your videography skills and setting up the sound and all that, but like I really saw it for the first time tangibly, you know, your food forest idea. I overlooked the first time I saw that, I overlooked you talking about caves. I didn't realize there were caves there. That's awesome.
Oh, they're quite small, but technically it's a cave, but it's a very small one.
Okay. But there is, you know, rock to the ground rather than it just being a sandbar.
Yeah. And I mean, that was like 2000, what was it, 17, 3-4 years ago, I think. And
So it's already grown like hell from that, I suppose.
yeah, we've been able to do quite a lot. Build a fence around it, build the first bungalow, planted a few hundred trees and a crop, cassava crop, and dug out a little bit, ready for the coral rock pool. Yeah, that's about it. Some small stuff. We have some water. We have a generator for electricity. So my gardener is actually living there right now and taking care of it and doing his little artwork of gardening and planting trees and stuff. So we're definitely moving forward slowly, but we're moving forward. But I saw that Inya, yeah, this video is probably more relevant for right now. It is 15 minutes. You can stop it maybe. You can decide if you can stop it after 10 minutes because I have like a rant in the car after the main part of the video. So if it's too long, you can stop it before that. If not,
when do you want to look at the PDFs that you sent me?
That's just a drawing of a building that Inya, she runs. She's watching us right now. She can join us also. Yeah, this one. I told her she should make it into a hexagon, but this is an octagon, or is it? I think, or is it 12? One. Is it 12?
It's even. It's a.
All I see is it's too many.
It's too many, Inya. She
So-
can tell more about Roots of Hope after, because we're kind of collaborating. She's building like you see here, like a school and co-creation space where she's already up and running, kind of. So kids are coming there in the afternoon and with their parents, and she's already like doing like children yoga and yeah, you can see there.
Oh yeah, 3D makes it come to life.
Yeah.
So what? Ooh, I see a outdoor oven here.
You like it?
So what is this facility?
We need to talk to Ina.
Oh,
Let's Ina get on here.
Oystein.
I think
I don't know how to say that name. It's audio only.
Øystein joined audio only. But
How do you
he's
pronounce that name?
Hey, Stein.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
We are great.
That's great.
Another
That's
day
great.
in Hexaking
I just popped
land.
in like 5 minutes ago. I hadn't heard it start.
Er det Øystein?
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Cool. So this,
Happy
my friend.
birthday, Morten.
Thank you.
Oh, is it your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh man, happy
birthday.
Oh, yeah. I just had my family over here for a birthday party. They just left like 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
What kind of cake did you get?
Apple cake with ice cream, no sugar.
Yay.
Nice.
That's good, yeah.
All right, so
Where's your
let's
face though, Øystein? Yeah.
let's watch a video.
Yeah.
So you say the first 10 minutes and then just give me the signal.
Yeah.
Vision
Okay.
is to create a
You can turn off the captions.
community.
I haven't done them.
Community, a retreat center, eco village, sports facility, festival ground where we can express and create from that innate power and manifest freely without being governed by anything. That's the vision, you know, to
Hey,
just
put the
create
video on full screen.
a
Yeah.
beautiful place on earth.
So I'm taking on my biggest project ever, and I'm looking for the right people to embark on this journey with me. Let me give you the background.
I'm on a plane on my way to Zanzibar. This vision came to me, and I realized I have a plot on Zanzibar. I have a huge plot on Zanzibar that I bought from my parents, and I just need to reach out to you and come together with the right people so we can create this thing. And I need you with me. I can't do this on my own, so I need the right people in the right roles who want to take ownership of creating something beautiful that's for us, for Africa, for the world, and what we really need right now in these times where, you know, the establishment is old news. It's falling apart. So it's up to you and me to get our shit together, you know, get grounded, heart aligned, and get our hands dirty to build this together.
Thus far, I've been investing the amount of resources I have into this, and together with a small team of dedicated people, we've been able to get water access, electricity is being set up, and the first bungalow is due to be finished in a couple of weeks. And that's just the beginning. Now is the time to shift gears, include the right people, inspired souls like yourself to get the snowball rolling for real. The plan is to create a community, an eco-friendly sanctuary, a festival ground with sports facilities in Zanzibar. The place where the Hakuna Matata philosophy originated and still infuses every cell of your body as soon as you step on the island, okay? Africa still has some core values that we might have forgotten in Western society. So it's the perfect place to come back to our roots and come together to create opportunity for everyone. especially the locals, so that we can all benefit from the same resources. And Zanzibar is the perfect place to do this, both because it's the most stunningly wonderful tropical exotic paradise, but also because there's so much potential to help the local community who are craving to enjoy the same opportunity as the rest of the world. Like proper co-working spaces with computers connected to the internet, professional sports talent development centers, proper waste management system. There will be retreats, workshops of different kinds, movie theater, lookout tower, basketball court, tennis court, football arenas, and natural coral rock pools, sustainable agriculture, music studio, podcasting studio, bow and arrow range, acrobatic park, golf range, stages, yoga platforms. You know, a place to develop talent and creativity in all shapes and forms, in a free place in the middle of nature, in tune with Earth as on a tropical island, as it should be. It's about giving value. It's about seeing the value we all inhabit, and it's about creating a new beginning in a society where we've forgotten who we are. I believe the future is held by those who come together in love, who understand that we are so connected, that we ultimately are one, and and create from there, from the grassroots, and simply create a lifestyle, a life where we have decided our own rules.
So we're good.
Sure. That's more just like, seeing some part of the building, and then that's the coral rock pool. It's gonna be all this where you see he's standing like on the edge of the coral rock pool, and then in the caves behind there is going to be like water coming out there.
Do you have bats there because of the caves and the insects?
No, there's no. No, there can be bats there. There's not many bats there. No.
Okay. I have a question. If like you've got other videos where you brought laptops and cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that more valuable than currency over there? Like, would we be able to do an arbitrage where like we send over cell phones and that goes so much further than us sending over money?
That's a great question. So I'm reading a book called Utopia for Realists. It's the guy who did a TED talk about what's it called when everybody gets the same salary, like free money.
That based income.
Yeah.
Universal basic income.
Yeah, and he argues that there's a certain threshold, like $600-700 in some. I think I calculated it to be like $600-700 for it to make a real change, and then you could see a person, use their entrepreneurial skills and double that money and make a real sustainable income and life of it. But anything under that will just be eaten up by immediate needs. So I think actually, and when you give someone a cell phone, it's a big deal down there. Like if you have a working smartphone, it's a big separation between those who have a smartphone and those who don't have a smartphone. So I love it. the idea of getting more phones down there. Every time I'm in Norway and I'm going to go back, I get 5, 10 plus inquiries of people who want a phone. I have constantly friends are asking me if I can bring phones. So that's definitely a need, yes.
Okay. What else can we do?
Yeah, I just I just want to learn. Like I have so many questions on how I'm gonna move forward. Because
What's the water situation over there?
the
Do you
water,
have like a rainy season and a dry season, or is it
yeah. So
like
most
all
of the
year
year,
round?
yeah, all the year is dry season, or just dry, and then if I remember correctly, in May, March, April, there's like 6-7 weeks around April, if I remember correctly, that it's rain season, and it's usually a lot of rain, and then there's a short, like 2-week rain season. If I remember correctly, I think it's in November. So it's not much rain, but when it rains a lot.
So do you have to think about like rainwater catchment and stuff like that?
Probably, possibly. Like we don't right now, because right now we're just connected to the main pipe from the government. So
Yeah.
that's what we have for intermediately. And then the plan is obviously to be self-sustained. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something that you should really look into before you plant the area full of trees, because you're gonna have to cut some down if you wanna dig some swales or something, and maybe have like, well, usually what they say is you should try to hold water as high on your property as you can, because once it leaves your property, you've sort of lost the game. So you should try to have a couple of ponds, preferably as high as possible on your property, so that you can drip irrigate or like gravity irrigate downhill from the ponds without using any electricity, and that'll also fill up your wells, and it can have all kinds of effects downhill from the ponds. And that's a
Right.
really, and you can get all kinds of life in there, like you could grow fish, or maybe crayfish, stuff like that. You could have ducks or something. I don't know if the people over there are into like duck eggs, but I would imagine they go down just as fine as like chicken eggs as well.
Right. But there's a guy here in Sandefjord, actually, my hometown, who does aquaponics. Is that the name for it? And
Yeah.
he did really, really, really well, and his business was booming right before COVID happened, and then COVID made him had to shut down. But he has all the knowledge about that stuff, and I was thinking about that. Yeah, so that's an option.
And aquaponics is, of course, a lot more intensive. Like you can produce a lot. Did he have like greenhouse, leafy green stuff, tomatoes? What did he grow besides fish?
Him,
Yeah,
he had. Sorry, I was reading the comments. What he was growing.
What was the extent of his aquaponics system?
He had a garage with a big. There was fishes, and then up to plants, and then he sold the plants to stores. Did I answer the question? Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but
aquaponics,
if it fit in his garage, it's not like a humongous size enterprise yet.
No, I think it was like a little bit bigger, but he had only done it for like I think 18 months or something. But he grew pretty much the business in that period, and then they had to shut it down.
an introductory definition to aquaponics is where you've got fish inside of your hydroponic system, and then whenever you don't have the fish and you're just adding nutrients, supplementing the nutrients in your water, then it's just aquaponics.
Wow.
We've got. Go ahead.
No, yeah.
We got a question from Ancient Earthways. He would like to know if you've thought about putting the stuff on the blockchain, the property lines.
The property what?
The property lines, maybe making it NFT.
How would that work? See, I've been having some.
I don't know.
Just,
Oh man, I'm breaking out in a rash just thinking about it. I don't know
would
how
do-
blockchain would. How
would-
would blockchain make it easier?
You would divide it up, and then you would have ownership of the token be the ownership of the property. So, like, say you
Kind
divide
of like
the
a
property up.
timeshare. Kind of like a timeshare. One token would permit you to stay somewhere for like 2 weeks or 4 weeks over like a year or something.
would
Maybe-
that work though? Like,
Maybe the contract
I don't think so.
dissolves. Maybe the contract purposefully dissolves the token after a certain time period, and you have to rebuy it from the contract or yourself.
Yeah, that would be like a gift card. Then it would have no need for the blockchain. It would be easier to run just as a service on your server.
so I have this.
But I like the idea of like making it accessible for hexagons. But of course, you should have it accessible for everybody if you want to run a business.
Yeah, it's like I have this fantasy of it being like an even playing field, fair place for everyone. You know what I mean? And then last time we spoke about it with the Hex Dragon 555, is that his name?
Mhm.
He was like, I think he had some experience with organizing communities, or had friends that organized the communities.
And he also had some experience with failure in community.
Exactly. So,
Mm.
you know, and I know that my stepdad, he preaches like the only model that works is like, there's one guy on top who
Dictatorship.
kind of.
Your stepdad is a smart fella.
Yeah. So he
Because
is.
if like there's plenty of we have lots of examples where like if you just give people an equal opportunity to do whatever they want and they have a huge area like that, it might work for something like 6 months or 18 months, but eventually it's just gonna be like drinking and raping until the cops shut it down. It leads to fucking anarchy. If people don't have, you need
Anarchy
to
is
have
not
a guy.
necessarily bad, Finn.
No, but you need to
just
have
drinking,
guys
right?
who you need to have you need to have a group of people who have a monetary interest in seeing that everything runs perfectly.
You mean
And
like
it's up to
an
those.
incentive there?
Yeah,
An
yeah,
incentive.
because like like I don't know where Karl Marx is buried. He's somewhere in Europe, and the burial ground is such a popular place for the commies that they need to fence it in, and it's owned by a private foundation, a communist foundation for a dead communist leader. They sell tickets to his grave.
Where are we going though?
Even the communists realize that you can't let everybody in. You gotta take some money, and somebody needs to take care of the place. That's why there's a guy who you pay the ticket to. So
Okay.
I don't want you to end up losing all of your investment because like I'm very much in agreement with the idea, and I'd love to come over. I already checked how much it's gonna cost me to fly over. It's not even like it was surprisingly cheap.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to coming to check the place out. But I don't want you to spend and in practice burn all your investment with giving people too much free shit.
Hmm.
Like it's a good idea to listen to everybody and like you can involve people as they want to be involved, but always make it a separate business enterprise where that business enterprise can't fuck over the entire thing. So everything happens as a separate thing. If you bring on a new person, that new person gets a new agreement. If somebody wants to have a bowling alley over there,
Yeah.
that fucker can ruin the entire thing if he's in financial contact with your entire company and your entire investment. Somebody can come over and run a huge tax debt or whatever stupid thing that you can imagine, and you'd be on the hook for it as well if you're too closely connected.
Hmm.
So your stepdad had a good point there. You can't give people too much free shit. It doesn't work. We've
No,
tried it.
not
We've
necessarily giving the free shit, but like the idea is basically the same idea as just decentralization, you know? Is there a way? I'm curious. I don't have the answer, but is there a way for it to be decentralized and also incentivized in a way that it'll grow, you know?
Well, Joel Salatin has really interesting like business ventures going on his farm.
Who?
And granted, that's only a farm. The guy's called Joel Salatin, Salatin, and the way he runs his operation is he owns the land, so the land is his. But then
Okay.
he has a guy on his land who has a chicken business, and he runs the chicken tractors on his land in a method which they've all sort of agreed on. He tells the guy, okay, my cows are leaving that pasture, and in 5 days I want to have your chickens over there pecking the dung piles and spreading the manure and eating the fly larvae. And the guy, he takes care of the chickens. That's his business, and that's his business alone. He gets all the rewards for it. That's like his thing, and it's within his interest to keep the farm in a good, healthy state. Like there's other animals in there, but like eventually it all leads down to his chickens. He wants his chickens to stay healthy and safe and have fresh water and whatever. So even though he doesn't own all the water lines and all the electric fences and stuff, he's gonna take care of shit because he has something that's sort of invested in the sort of the greater whole that they have going on there.
That's interesting. So it would be like I owning the plot, but there will be like 20 different businesses on that plot where
Yeah, you could have guys. You could have guys running different kinds of like animal husbandry businesses, one after the other, using a same field. You just need to sort of map out how long does it take for these cows to move to the end of the field, and how many chickens do we need to follow the cows, and is somebody who's going to take care of the sheep, are we going to have any sheep, all that kind of stuff. But you can have, because sheep will eat stuff that cows will absolutely not touch. And if you have something that's even more difficult to digest, like get goats, but
yeah,
they're really difficult to fence anywhere. If the fence doesn't hold water, it doesn't hold goats.
right.
But I'm already sort of shifting towards like farming and all that kind of stuff. And clearly, you had a lot more sort of in the lines of like activities and all sorts of stuff to do, and like a holiday resort type of a thing in mind. Am I wrong? That's how I felt like you had
About
like
the
yeah, like your vision. I don't want to poo poo on your vision here.
You're not.
These are just the things that sort of came to mind, just
Yeah.
like off the top of my head.
It's definitely thought evoking, or what's the word? Yeah, I'm having ideas. Like, I like the idea of having maybe because I'm gonna have different things, like a tennis court, like maybe a little shopping street, like all those different things, and maybe there could be people who run them and are responsible for them, but on my property.
Yeah.
Yes, with the
They-
cows and the goats and the sheep as well, but also, I mean, sheep, but also, the different facilities.
Yeah, like
Maybe
just like keeping bees. I don't know how many
Let's
beekeepers
say
do you guys have?
let's say someone wanted to build an acrobat park on my property. Or actually, I've had a handful of people who want to build a yoga platform or a yoga center or yoga something on the property. And that's popular, and people are already approaching me who want to do that. So let's say I say, okay, yes, you can do that. How would that
Yeah.
actually work practically? Like, so they build it, they spend their money building it, and then they start a business, and then they do their yoga work, and then they get paid for the yoga work. But then who owns the building is the question. What if when they sell, or when they are finished, or what happens then? I guess if they're gonna
Yeah.
build you, then I own the building then. Otherwise, they'll have to move the building.
Yeah, or well, it this is another thing where you maybe want to consider how much do you want to have that's permanently built on your land. Like maybe you build like a platform or something, and you can erect any different kinds of buildings on it. Like you could you could pile it full of sea containers if you want, and just punch holes through the walls and make that into like just a big building on the inside. It's not going to be pretty on the outside, but the good thing is that if the guys all of a sudden don't feel like stretching anymore and paying their bills, you just call a company and they have this lift and they come and grab the ceiling, and just you watch the hippies when they load them onto the truck, and bye bye.
Yeah.
I don't know how, do you necessarily need to have like a really hard structure for yoga?
No, but I want to, and there will be like 100 different other facilities there. So
Then I would get. My guess is you would have to own it, and they would rent it from you.
right. So ownership is one place that I'm stuck, or I feel a bit stuck. The other place that I feel a bit stuck is financing, because I have had. And maybe we can take on Ina Davin if she wants to jump in, because she's like kind of doing it with me, and Øystein also, maybe if they want to jump in, if you guys are up for it.
I just put the StreamYard link in the public chat, so anybody can join via that.
Awesome. So yeah, with the financing, it's like, until now, I've just been pouring my own money into it, and I've been overpaying, because that's life when you live two different places and you try to like manage this. And there have been, I think, maybe even like 10 people or more who have expressed explicitly that they want to invest in the project somehow. Like, I haven't even put out anything. I haven't even put out like some, what do they call it, pitch deck, or some kind of opportunity or offer or perks or Patreon or anything, or GoFundMe or anything. But people have come to me and said, how can I invest in your project? Like, could I have a bungalow on your property? Or could I just invest, and what would I get out of investing? So, and then what's the guy named Jeff Berwick is actually interested in it, and some other like big players as well. But my resistance to that have been that I don't want to have the pressure on my shoulders to produce a return on income. That's not why I want to do this. I don't want to do, I don't want to feel stressed to produce a return on income for a shareholder or an investor.
Okay, so
There's a fine line there, because they get. My fear is also that they will have expectations and demands, and I don't want to do this with others' expectations and demands. I want it to be a free creation, So that's why.
So you should maybe think about it in a way that you own the land, and then if you bring in investors, everybody who comes in gets a share of a company, and that company's thing is they develop buildings on your land. So that's like a separate entity working on a piece of land that you own,
And then
or a company that you owns. So if you don't want to do anything, you still own the land, and you can let the company run its course on your property, and you're also an owner in that company. So in case you want to have a say in a vote or something, just make sure you have more than 50% of the shares, so that your word still keeps when push comes to shove. But you could have other people inject capital into it. You've already paid because you already own the land, so there's sort of that aspect of it. None of it would be possible without the land, so there's value in that already.
So what would be the incentive for people to invest?
The same as whenever they invest, to make profit.
But I'm just having a thought, does it need to be a business, like a traditional mindset of investing and returning from like can it be different than that this is a different project,
mindset of
so that if people want to invest that actually has money, it's not, they cannot be allowed to invest because they want a big return on the investment. They want to invest because they believe in the project, and that the project should be more or the project or the business of that place should be more clear for people. And there can maybe be benefits of investing, that you can spend time there, or you can do different activities there, or you can have your own business there. But it's not it should not be, that business should not be like the baseline of the investment, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm going with it as well. It's like, okay, if I can get people to donate, but there are perks on that donation, so that's why I'm kind of looking into GoFundMe and this Norwegian crowdfunding site.
GoFundMe might be like the most straightforward way, where people realize that they don't necessarily get much out of like giving the money, but still, like that could be like the first night is already paid if you decide to come or something like that.
And here's the million hex question: how can I get Hexicans interested in investing?
Oh, it's really difficult. The thing is, you need to have like 3.69% interest and no middleman. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be like just
Be a
perfect.
T-share train.
Yeah. Hey, Nia. Nice to meet you. You're muted.
You're muted. Yeah, I think maybe.
I had I had to mute you because you were getting some feedback. So I'm not sure if whenever you talk, it's going to go out of your speakers and then back into your microphone. But let's unmute you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, I think I had the other streaming on the back. And then
Yeah.
my son here, which is supposed to go to bed soon. And you have to, hello.
Nathan, go to bed.
no niin, nukkumaan menoaika.
Yeah.
It's bedtime now.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
There you went. Yeah. It's nice to see you all.
The same
and-
over here. It's
Yeah.
bedtime.
See you.
So, yeah.
So are you the architect? Are you responsible for these drawings?
No, that's a friend of mine, Tyler, from somewhere in America. I'm not sure where. But we met back in 2018 when Roots of Hope Community Center basically was just an idea. And I had a vision to create a place for children where they could feel free and, how can you say, calm with the environment of growing up and believing in yourself, which has been a little bit difficult in Zanzibar. So I started with talking to people about my vision and what I wanted to teach, which was education that was alternative, focusing on more things that we don't get in school now, but are really important when it comes to ecological growing, being sustainable, how we can save the rainwater in a place where it's dry. And I started renting out on Airbnb actually with the purpose of building a community center. And all of the income from Airbnb came in. And that's how I met this architect, which came to me and I told him about it. And he was like, hey, this is a cool idea. I want to give you the architecture for free. And we used about a week or two and designed everything. And then in 2020, I was able to come to Zanzibar and buying a plot and start building small. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what do you think about the conversation that's happened thus far on this stream?
It's pretty interesting. I have been listening at the same time taking my son's bath. So I'm multitasking here. But
Yeah, we won't be holding an exam after the stream, so that's fine.
That's great. That's great. Well, I think it's really interesting what you guys said with having people to rent in at this plot that Morten has as well.
Yeah,
I think it can be a way of getting an income to grow the place much better.
and there's also there's benefits to it because then you would have enterprises that are not directly connected to the land. So
Yeah.
like if you had somebody who like ran livestock or something and the herd got bigger, they could just expand and maybe like rent some fields next to the plot that you guys already have or something. You could, or if somebody just absolutely is someone unbearable to work with, he could just pick up stakes and get out. And if you're not too tied up to the land,
Yeah. That's possible.
because like I don't know how it is like in Zanzibar, but like uh like if you think about like all the legal ins and outs, but somewhere like in Europe or in the States, you can get really tangled up in legal arguments forever, and you can't do nothing while that is going on.
Yeah, that's really true. We had to register as a NGO in Zanzibar for actually being allowed to have the children there and to build what we started building. But it's really great to have a person also that is local, because then all of the legals around a plot gets more easy.
Yeah.
Because me as a foreigner, I don't own the land. I rent it for 99 years.
Yeah.
Ah. So I wanted to bring this up. This is a nonprofit in Austin, just on the east side of Austin, and it's been successful in housing the homeless, um, PTSD veterans in little tiny homes, and then they've got phases as well.
Hmm.
And what they've been doing is like crafts in order to sell. Well, I think the images right here were rotating. So here's example of tiny homes, and they've got some produce and all different types of agriculture. So this is maybe a property right next door, amphitheater that's just absolutely simplistic. I saw some produce here somewhere.
Do you know how they fund it?
I don't know the pottery. I don't know how they fund it. I know that some guy who is very religious works his butt off in order to make this a nonprofit successful. The piece of property was the less desired area back 10 years ago, and now Austin's, growing, so the property prices have gone up. But look at that, there's a larger size chess pieces.
Cool.
So, case study.
Yeah,
Of a
definitely.
successful project. And really quickly, I wanted to interject into our conversation that our Navajo host over there in Navajo Nation, his name's Roy. He did this blanket recently. It's 25 inches by 37 inches. This is shiprock, which is a land formation that's built into their heritage, and it's over just west of where we were. And so I think it's still in Navajo Nation, but yeah, it's just west of the New Mexico Arizona border, and just a little bit south of the Four Corners, where the 4 states combine. But I just thought that was freaking
That is
awesome.
trippy. That is trippy. Yeah.
Like, how is it that he's going to express his art going forward? How is it that these people see things differently than us and then express them? I just thought that was beautiful. So
Yeah, it is.
This is one of the many crafts that this guy does and that are offered amongst the Navajo people, because he's got friends that do jewelry. And then we're back to the architecture.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about this architecture, or should we leave it up to the architect?
No, I can actually. It's built on the flower of life structure, and that's why it has 12 angles. And this one, you see, it's not yet built. We're just starting with the foundation, and it's basically 4 classrooms. So we're gonna build one music room with recording and a stage and different kind of instruments. Then we have an art and craft room, which basically where we can make pottery, as you said, or crafts, handmade crafts out of natural natural material. And then we have a classroom which we will use for more classes like English and math. And the last one is a nursery room, which we're going to use for the smallest kids once we open up, as well as a nursery. Oh, my tongue crawled. So that's basically how it is there. And in the middle, we're not sure yet. Either it will be an open space where we will grow a tree, or it will be a storage. but I like the idea of growing a tree in the middle of.
Oh well, that's exactly what something that uh, 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 a woman
hippie
with
would
children, a woman with children would say.
Ah, woman with children.
We need storage. That's because
We need
that's just
storage, you
sensible.
need a tree,
That's
yeah.
just a sensible thing.
Yeah, so
You-
as you can see on the sides here, it's built in closets, which we will use as storage. So the architect has actually made it so that we have storage inside. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite cool, the structure.
Yeah, I love it.
I wonder
you-
if you could put some sort of crystals in the floor, like import a bunch
That would be
of.
amazing.
Yeah, and a bunch of mirrors. Just have
I
you
actually
go in there, there's a
found
million
some
mirrors.
crystals on the lands.
You could make this the meditation room in
Oh
the
my god, you
center.
guys are so hippies.
And proud of it.
Are you freaking? You're setting me up, man. You're doing this on purpose. Crystals. I'm just messing with you.
So you could literally have this as a sound reverberation room.
Yeah,
Have a sound bath inside there.
that
A
would be
booth.
so cool.
To record.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you could
Inside of
do like a streaming studio in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
maybe we
so
could do some podcast as well in there.
I didn't hear you. Repeat that.
Maybe we could do some. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Podcast.
Yeah,
Podcast,
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, this is where we would ask you to come on stream.
Yeah. Sure,
and then have some natural light as well, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe have a glass ceiling.
So
Yeah.
so here's something is when you're looking at this roof, you could cut it right here and then elevate that to where then you'd have clear story windows all the way around, or just two sides or something.
Yeah.
So where natural light could get to that center area.
Yeah, that would bring in a lot more light. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really cool actually.
So what is this thing?
This is the kitchen. So basically, we were supposed to dig down gas underneath, which you can see there, but we didn't do that. So it's just a kitchen building, but for now we are using it for everything because it's actually the only place we have with roofing at the moment.
Okay. Why
Alright.
is this property this shape that it is? Have you decided, like, is it a separate plot?
No, it's the road is like that. So yeah, the other plot is actually it's a road going angled like that.
So the
Behind.
road splits through the property?
No, it just goes on the side here on top. If you go up there, and you see the angle there, I don't know. Yeah.
Right here at the
Yes,
top?
yeah. So
That's where
there
the road is?
Yeah.
Mm,
And so is this the complete extent of the property?
yeah.
Or there's more, like, where do the individual housings go and things like that? Like, I'm confused. This is
We don't have this. We are just a school, a community center. So we don't have any housing where people stay.
So that's like 20 minutes away from my property. And yeah,
okay.
we're just
Yeah.
working together.
20 minutes by walk.
Cool.
No, 20-minute car drive.
Car.
Okay.
And where you see the trees is where we
20
have.
minutes. You never walk 20 minutes anywhere, man. You know it's a car trip if it's 20 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Well,
man.
Did
Did you
walk
jog? No, man. We
Yeah.
didn't jog. We took the taxi like normal people do.
What sort of four-legged animals could I ride from one place to another?
What?
What could
What
I
do you-
could I get on a donkey or a horse or a?
No.
You can always get on a
Giraffe.
donkey if you want.
There's so many donkeys there, though.
Yeah, I actually thought your plans were happening on the same location, so it's kind of cool that you have like a separate area.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking, I like that structure. I would love to have that structure in a hexagon, obviously, and build it on my property as well.
So what kind of lumber do you get on the island?
Lumber, is that är det
Yeah,
träverk?
do they grow like redwood or some like?
I don't know enough about it, but there's palm trees. That they
Yeah, but I mean like building construction lumber,
Yeah,
that
usually
kind of
it's
stuff.
like either limestone or bricks, and then they also use palm tree wood, different qualities to build as well. But most like 90, I don't you agree, Inya? 99% of all buildings in Zanzibar are built with bricks, and
Oh,
Most of them
stone.
are stone and bricks. Yeah, they use a lot of stones as well, and then do the cementing in
Yeah,
between.
yeah,
We started actually taking the plastic around as well, and just to see if it could work, we made these big PET plastic bottles, fill them
yeah,
with the plastic that was laying around, cleaned the plastic, of course, before, and stuffed it, and we used those as building bricks for a sign that we have there.
yeah.
I think that's a way to at least get away the
Yeah,
garbage.
it's a good way to, and it reduces the amount of concrete you need by a
Yes.
lot. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. And you
and
can also,
if you want, you can hide it like plaster over it. Nobody.
yes, correct.
That's like a bridges in China are made like that, so that's perfect.
really,
Yeah.
Well, if you go to any city, like a bigger city in China, like just kick on like the closest skyscraper you see, and you see that it's made of corn husks and rice and a little bit of concrete mixed in. Like the houses over there are horrible.
Hmm.
They build them up so fast that they start to decay from the bottom floors before the top floors are even complete. The guys are already abandoning the bottom floors of the buildings because they like
Jesus.
balconies fall off or the elevator doesn't work anymore, and they're like nobody takes care of anything because nobody owns it. See, that's like you need to have financial some kind of a structure in place where it's financially feasible and it makes sense for everybody to take care of the things that that we'll have there.
Yeah, yeah. That's the kind of the question.
Yeah, but this has been great. Like I've had all kinds of ideas just listening to you.
Can't wait to have you guys there and check it out.
Oh yeah.
We're probably going to be, I think Ina is going there in December. I'm probably going to be there in January. Stein, you're going to be there in January with me. I'm leaving, I don't know yet, either in November or January. I think I'll be there. And I don't know for how long, but yeah. Freddy Fairhair, he's like, did you, he's a YouTube
Hey,
prankster.
Freddy.
He should get on there as well. And Øystein, I can't see. He's only on audio. I'd love to see his face as well. It'd be nice for you to connect with. There you go.
There he is.
There he is.
Hey.
Ace.
Hey man.
Out walking.
Looking forward to going to Zanzibar? Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're
It could be
muted.
that just get a bunch of people that are interested in both working with their hands and having a trip at the same time, and go there and build together and just make some kind of small festival for it, like having fun building at the same time, and
Oh
live
yeah.
be in the now.
It takes time though. Yeah, but I love the idea. just needs like people to be there for a while. You know, put heart and time.
Oh
into
yeah,
it.
like 10 people, if they know what they're doing, they can do a lot of damage in a couple of weeks. A lot of good even.
Well, in
And
Finland, Africa is Africa, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I meant like if 10 people over here come over.
Aha. Yeah.
Like if you
yeah.
know that you're gonna have to take off in 10 days, it doesn't give you much time to sleep. You need
It's
just
good to have a deadline, and it's good to have more
Yeah.
people. And like if you go in with the mindset of let's get shit done, I think also we will get a lot of things done. I have to say that I've been surprised 40 times, that the things takes more time than you think in Africa. That's just how it works. Like, and you have to, like, if you need the material and you need to navigate with local builders, etc., then you are dependent on a completely different culture who values time in a completely different way than we do in Norway. There's no use for a watch in Africa. Like, it's just, let's hope that he shows up today kind of vibe.
Oh man.
yeah, so with the worker that is going to do our door and windows, we've been waiting for him for 2 weeks. He's like, yeah, tomorrow I'm coming.
Yeah. And you actually think that he will come tomorrow because he said that to you genuinely, and he probably
No,
meant
I
it too.
stopped thinking that. So I'm
And it
like,
literally
okay,
takes
just take 2
weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got a question here. Are things more expensive there?
Now it is than it used to be, you mean? Or more expensive than what? I guess.
I'm not sure.
Nothing is more expensive than Norway. Come on, man. He just
That's
wants to know how much do you have to pay. Like, say you buy a family-sized pizza and like a 6-pack of beer. How much is that?
What would you say? Yeah, depends on.
So 2,500 is one bear, but if you buy a whole crate, is 42,000 shillings, which is about 42,000. 100,000 is 400 kroner, so that's 200, like
That's like
$20 for 46 bears.
$20 for 46 beers.
Yeah. Okay, so me
So how
and
about
Davin,
property?
we can get along. Me and Davin with beer that cheap.
I'll try to quit every once in a while.
Yeah. Can you buy property if you're like a foreigner in Zanzibar?
You
You
can.
will-
Well, technically, it's a lease from the government, so nobody owns property in Zanzibar.
Except the locals, though. They own it.
Right.
Oh.
But there are incentives. Since 2018, I think there are a lot of incentives for foreigners to buy or technically lease. But you lease them for 100 years, and it's like, and if you think about it, the government could come and take your property as well if they really, really wanted to. So it's like, it is what it is.
But they
Yeah.
can't do that if you register the land on an NGO. If you, in a way, lock your land into an NGO or into a Zanzibar-run business, they can't really take it, except if you're in deep debt, but not when it's an NGO.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They probably can, but they can't.
Yeah.
I mean, they can by force. It boils down to who has the gun. But yeah.
Yeah.
So Ancient Earthways would like to know if there's any restrictions, traveling restrictions, COVID stuff, anything like that.
Nope.
No.
Any butt fun, monkeypox.
Is the government friendly? Do they care about freedom?
Yeah. I mean, how do I answer this?
Well, Zanzibar is mostly a Muslim country, but it's really aligned with the mainland, which is mostly Christian. So everyone is respecting each other in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a melting.
Government don't care so much about their people. Well, which government does?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't think any.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah. I mean, and when there are elections, hello? Hello? Oh, yeah. When there are elections,
Some Norwegians are downstairs.
yeah.
Oh, the
Talk so much.
Norwegians are here.
Look out!
Happy
a
birthday,
Norwegian.
brother.
Look out, the Norwegian.
Oh, how cute. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's like my daughter. My daughter's 11, and she draws all kinds of animals like that.
What is the history of Zanzibar? Does it
Well-
have freedom in their history? Have they been a nation state before? Are they they're just a state, right? Amongst
Yeah.
Zambia?
Tanzania. So
Tanzania.
they used to be. Well, this Tanganyika is Tanzania and Zanzibar, and Zanzibar is technically its own state. I think you have to show your passport, etc., when you go there from mainland, and they have their own airport, and they have their own, not their own president, but they have
like a vice president somehow.
Yeah, it's a complicated. It depends on who you ask, really.
It was under the British for a long time, and then the Sultan.
Yeah,
There was a genocide there as well in '64, which was pretty bad. But they have covered up that in history books because they don't want any jealousy of what actually happened before. So the youth are not teach that history. So actually, that book is banned.
The band.
Band,
Yeah, banned the history of what actually happened. Well, you can find it on YouTube as well, actually.
Mm-hmm. So how much to fund a person? We've talked about this in previous podcasts, but how much to fund a person to work on the property per year? You know, that sort of thing.
You mean how much would it cost
To buy a
pay
local? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Local salary is approximately $300 a month. Is it, Ina? $200?
300,000 shillings, which is 1,200.
Okay, so yeah, and if you pay them well, it's maybe like 400 to 600. So let's say you pay 500,000 shilling, and that's like 500,000 er 2,000 norsk.
Yeah, 2,5.
So that's like $200, $250 a month.
Wonderful.
That's a great
Now,
question.
that's not terribly much if you think about, like, you only get a few cases of beer with that money.
In Finland? Or
no,
you mean
in Zanzibar? Like,
yeah,
48 beers is already $20, so you get like 10 boxes, and you're already.
You get 10.
Well,
12.
they're big boxes, but still.
There are 46 beers in a. Yeah, so actually that's a great question, because it got me, that's a way to incent, or to kind of, that's a good thing to share to people who maybe want to donate. It's like, can you pay for a worker? Maybe, you're giving something.
And that's a good way to, like, develop the land when you're not there, to have somebody who you've already agreed that these are the things that we need to have done by the coming 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. And you
and
have
then he does all the things in the last 3 weeks just before you arrive, but just as long as it's all done like you agreed on, that would still be a good thing.
Yeah, and that's the challenge, actually, to be honest, because it's very challenging. I've never had this much challenge with trying to setting deadlines and actually achieving them in all of my projects in my entire life than this one. But I think keeping whoever donates or pay the salary for someone, keeping them updated, like once a week or something, with videos, and like, so they feel they can see that stuff is happening, and they feel involved, and they can show to their friends, like, hey, look at this, look what we're doing together in Zanzibar. And I'm actually paying for, when you pay $250 per month that can feed a family in Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's a cool thing to do, I think, you know? And I think a lot of people are able to afford that. I think that got me thinking. Great idea. Great question. Who asked that question? Thank you.
I think that was mentioned time. Last time we talked about Zanzibar, or the first time that you introduced the idea to us. I would like to direct your attention towards Permies.com's Ant Village, because my friend up there, Paul Wheaton, who owns this 200 acres, he allows people. He's the dictator of the property, and he has a agreement with people. You're allowed to rent or work trade an acre worth of this property. That's the plots are kind of like pre-decided, and some people who just participate with the forums on Permies.com, some people will just send over funds and say, hey, do something and show it to me, report back to me. There's all sorts of ways that people are sponsoring the other people who are out there, because typically what happens is it takes a young person to uproot themselves and go and do things, while it is that an older person with experience stays at their place that they've made comfortable for themselves, because they've already done all the work for their local area. They'd rather not leave it. It's up to the younger folks to go and push forward, pioneer. So it's just an interesting situation where you've got this sponsorship in multiple different ways. And then what if it is that that you could get more eyes on the project by posting it onto Permies.com, having a forum for it, and having other people relay new ideas to it, and then that be your meeting point for the people to report back, the folks at Zanzibar that you've now gifted a cell phone and a laptop to, so that they can do all this recording and communication.
Right. Yes.
But like literally what's happened over the last 4 years is the people who are a part of Ant Village or the boot camp there at Wheaton Labs, there's been this honeypot that grows, and they post pictures for 100 days straight. And then whenever they reach that 100 days worth of content from the property, then they get to cash in on whatever money pot is there. And so then it goes to them for, almost as if it's a job.
Yeah.
And then the next person, they come up on their 100 days, and then boom, they cash out. And so and it's constantly being funded by just random people who want to see these folks continue doing what they're doing, rather than having to leave the property and go make money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because there are rules to the property on what you're allowed to come and go from like a daily job. They don't want you to interact with the city that's 50 miles down the road. They want you to stay on the property and keep working. And then things get slow during the winter. Some people just completely vacate during the winter. But there at Zanzibar, you don't have huge fluctuations, right?
It's just rain season, Ramadan in early spring. Yeah.
So what is that?
Don't change every year though. It's every next month, and then it's not
okay.
all the same time.
So what does the raining season stop from happening that season?
Like 10th of May, maybe?
Yeah, around May.
No, I'm
mid-
saying
No.
what activities have to not happen during that
Oh, yeah.
time period?
Well, for us, it's mostly sometimes we prepare the soil and then we wait to grow. Just either we grow just before, but we have to make like these potholes so that it don't get flooded.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty big issue. Like driving around in the villages during rain season can be pretty hard. Like I have had my car stopped so many times. Yeah.
Hello.
Looks like the bedtime scheme is not working.
Did we keep you awake?
No, I did not stop.
I'll give you $100,000 if you go to bed.
You hear him?
Huh?
You get
$1 million. Go to bed right now.
How are you gonna pay that off, man?
I'm taking a big debt, man.
He will take.
Ex-OG, he has the money.
I don't want money.
You don't want money. All right.
Oh,
That's a good kid.
You want Norwegian money.
Not your
he
finished bucks.
doesn't need those stupid dollars, man.
He's
That's
gonna look
that's
at
cool.
this,
A million
recording
crowns is way less. That's even
Yeah.
better.
Definitely. Okay, Nathan. Well, I think I have to get him to bed.
Yeah.
It's been
Hey,
wonderful
listen,
having you.
I think I'm gonna have to hop out as well. It's getting past my kids'
Bye.
bedtime.
Bye.
Morten, let's have you give us a call to action to sign us
You
off.
guys wrap it up. Goodbye.
Alrighty. Adios.
Bye.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, now.
Bye, Ina.
Yeah, okay, say goodbye and then we leave.
Bye.
Bye.
That's funny.
Let's have you give us a call to action. You know how people can follow up and
Yeah, so find me at Morten Hake on Twitter and or Facebook I use, and if you're interested in being involved in the project somehow, if you have any ideas, any network, if you want to contribute in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to me. It's like these days that I'm kind of honing in more on this and I'm working on videos, and we're going down there latest in January, and I want to also start documenting on video what the progress is, and so if you want to be involved, if you want to come down to Zanzibar, if you want to have a chat with me face to face on Zoom or whatever, then reach out to me, and let's make this happen.
Utopia is amongst us.
Yes.
All right. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.